I open the file of tone photograph. Before you start working on any photograph, it is always good to make a copy of it so that the original photograph is available with us in case it is needed. By pressing Ctrl plus J from the keyboard, we can duplicate the layer and call it Old Man. The photograph is not very clear and dark. I can adjust the curves to brighten it. I'm still not satisfied with the color. I simply go to the Hue or Saturation tool and adjust the colors of the photograph. I am also going to check if the photograph is in the RGB mode. This mode is the default mode which is used for high quality photographs and is able to display millions of colors. Now that I have changed the basic settings, let's begin to restore the photograph. Let us start with the wall behind the old man. I am going to use the Clone Stamp tool to touch up this patch. I press Alt key from the keyboard to copy the sample and I paste it over here on the patch. I drag the cursor over the damaged area. Can you see the damaged area is getting restored? I keep doing this till the wall is nearly done. Do you see this line on the top corner of the photograph? This is where the wall ends. I am going to touch up this part now. The next part that I am going to restore is the pink turban. The image is a bit too small to work on. Let me enlarge the area around the turban. To give a smoother blend, I am changing the opacity and flow. Look at the turban carefully. You will see that the turban has different shades. I will keep selecting the shades and just like before, use the clone tool to restore the damaged areas. The next step is to join both the pieces of the tone photograph. For this, I choose the polygonal lasso tool and select the tone pieces of the photograph. With the help of the Move tool, I move the tone part closer to the other half till the two pieces join. There, the pieces are placed together. Then I deselect the photograph by pressing Ctrl D from the keyboard. Now that the pieces are together, we can continue to work on restoring the inside of the turban. This time, let me show you a new tool. It's called the Healing Brush tool. The healing brush tool is also used to replace the damaged area. It blends the color from the sample areas that I choose. Let me show you how to use this tool. It is similar to the clone tool. I select a sample, then I go to the damaged area and click on it. There, I have corrected it. Wasn't that easy? Let's continue to use this tool till we restore the turban area. I use the hand tool to pan the picture to the area that I want to work on. Look, we have restored the turban. The next step is to restore the face. Let's start with the forehead. I use clone stamp tool. Can you see this shadow on the forehead? I need to match this shading. So, I will choose a sample which matches with this area the closest. I will now correct the line on the forehead in the same way using the clone stamp tool. For a smoother finish, I change the opacity. Let's move the picture around to see if the colors blend properly. Do you see this black dot on the forehead? I will remove this too using the clone stamp tool. Look, the dot is now gone. The left eye of the old man is damaged. Let's touch it up. The right eye is in good shape. So, I'll select copy and paste the right eye on top of the left eye. I now flip using Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Then I click on Edit, Free Transform to rotate the position of the new layer. Let's rename this layer as Eye. I reduce the opacity. Now, I align the eye with what is left of the man's torn eye behind the new layer, and then I increase the opacity. There, I have given the old man his left vision. You see these portions here? They need to go. So, I'm going to add a layer mask. I keep sweeping the brush across the area I want to get rid of. I am going to do this till I get the result I want. Here's a tip. Keep your finger on the X key on the keyboard to flip between black and white. It's always good to go back and forth in smaller areas until you get what you want. Now I will correct the beard of the man in exactly the same way I did for the eye. Let's do a quick recap of the steps. I copy the right side of the beard and paste it on the left hand side. I click on Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. Oops! Sorry, I need to flip the photograph to horizontally. Let me undo the flip and re-click Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. I renamed this layer as Beard. Now, to align this new addition, I reduce the layer opacity and position it. Let me fine-tune the alignment using the Warp tool. You can locate it on Edit Transform. Let me tell you about the Warp tool. Use this tool to bend, twist and curl. Simply click and drag on these points like this. There! We have finished restoring the beard. I am just retouching some additional portions by increasing and decreasing the brush size. See this part of the wall? I'll use the clone stamp tool to restore it. Now using the crop tool, I am going to cut out the unwanted part of the picture. Voila! It's gone. The next is to touch up the soiled right sleeve. Restore it the same way as before. I now select the crop tool and select the area I want to crop and click on Enter. Now the retouching is more or less done. Let me play around with the colors. First, the turban. I use the lasso tool to select the entire turban and add a new layer named turban. I adjust the colors with the hue saturation and the lightness sliders till I get the color I want. Now I adjust the brightness and contrast. So that's done now. Are you noticing? We have created so many layers in this process. Let's create a folder so that we can group all these layers. I click on Create a new group at the bottom of the Layer tab. I now select all the layers except background and drag them inside Group 1. Let's merge these layers together. I go to Layer, Merge Group. All the layers in Group 1 are now merged into a single layer. You know, I'm going to touch some portions up one last time. The picture looks okay on the face of it. But you know, if you print this, you will find tiny grains or pores on your printout. We call these grains noise. I click on Filter, Noise, Reduce Noise. A final pop-up appears on the screen showing the progress of noise reduction. Now that the noise is reduced, I am going to use yet another filter, this time to strengthen the white shades in the picture. See how the picture stands out now? The photo is finally done. Clicking on the eye of the background layer shows me the difference between the original and the retouched photograph. I saved the file both in PSD and JPEG formats.